Hi there, this is H. Victoria Harper Atkerson, and I would love to introduce you to my next book, which is Enslaved. It is a story about the capture and enslavement of an African princess and a member of her royal guard. This book starts out talking about her rich history, the history, her family life, her traditions of her family, and her tribe. And it talks about various tribes and how they celebrated their lives and how they lived richly and produced those talents that were tapped into to make this country rich. We were not unskilled when we came here. We were already full of knowledge and techniques that were taken advantage of and were the foundation on which this country was built. It was built on the backs of black people who had no choice but to do as they were forced to do, which was to work free and without pay and under the most torturous and inhumane conditions one can imagine. And it started with the Middle Passage. It started with the capture and the herding of people into the slave corrals and the slave alcoves in Africa. So we follow that, all that history in this book. And I'm proud to say that this book will bring the reality of inhumanity, man's inhumanity to man, home to each one of us so that we will appreciate and we will also think about from day to day what our lives are like today and how we interact. And it also will give us tools for which we can understand and empathize with another human being, because it doesn't matter what color we are, it matters that we are all human, we have a commonality. It will also bring home the fact that these conditions that we lived in the past are continuing to affect us today. And it is the job of Americans in this country to unite, to make sure America lives up to the traditions that they set forth in the Constitution, which is the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of justice, the pursuit of equality. So these are principles that the African living in America under depressed conditions, those are the things that they fought for. Those are the things that they desired and were determined to have. And that's the foundation that our people live with and we live on today, because in those strong Africans, the many of whom, thousands of whom, lost their lives on the Middle Passage. Their bones are stretched out at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean because they did not make it. Their lives were taken from them, stolen. And we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that journey. We have to acknowledge the journey that we are yet to make. That's why it's so darn important that we vote, that we all, black, white, green, purple, it doesn't matter what color you are, as Americans we have to unite and we have to start empathizing with each struggle of each person who seeks justice in this country, whether it's our red Native Americans, black Africans, Muslims, gay people, it doesn't matter. what matters is that we unite as a country, that we unite as human beings in this country. One of the lessons of slavery is to tell us that human rights, is what counts. So do me a favor. I proudly present this book to you because I think it gets to the nitty-gritty of slavery. It will put you in the bowels of those slave ships and it tell you what the conditions were like, the struggle that these people had under those very, very repressed, depressed, and inhumane conditions that they overcame for our sakes today. They became Americans by force, but they lived up to those human rights that every person deserved. They struggled to get that. And we, as voters today, we need to honor that. Whether we're black, white, green, purple, or red, we need to honor that. And I proudly, proudly give you this book. I hope you take a moment to read it because I think it's such an important piece of work that we need to embrace it and embrace ourselves, embrace each other. It doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter where we came from or how we got here in this country. What matters is justice, freedom, and equality. That's what matters. So join me in celebrating the birth of this wonderful new book and the struggle of these people who did not intentionally come to this country. Those are my folks. We want to honor that history. We want to honor those traditions that created in this country such wonderful culturally rich things such as soul food, the jazz, the blues, gospel music. It's amazing. It's amazing, but we are triumphant and we will continue to be. And no matter what we are, where we are, this is what counts. This is what counts. We are a people united to create and ensure the fact that this country remains true to the Constitution, which it says, expresses, and dictates to the world that all men are created equal. Get this book, folks. It's great. And I want to say to you, I love you for being here. And I want to remind you to like this channel and also to subscribe because I need your subscription in order to stay here. It was torturous being away because I had to work hard to make this book happen and to get it into the publisher. That is the hard work of a writer because many hours I did not sleep. And I wondered, I'm sure I got a few more gray hairs because of it, because the work was tedious and continuous. So help me to celebrate the book and celebrate our life as Americans in this country. We have a beautiful gift that we need to share with the world, and we need to get busy doing that. So write letters, protest, get out, make your lives mean something and stand for something. So love to you. I'll see you next time.